guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, I will be doing another 2020 election prediction for if the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was repealed. If we look back at this, we can see back in 2017, July of 2017, so 2.5 years ago, three GOP senators, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, John McCain, voted against the so-called skinny repeal of the Affordable Care Act, which would have just gotten completely rid of the Affordable Care Act. If we scroll down to the bottom here, we can see 16 million people would have lost their insurance, which would have made premiums go up 20%. So regardless of whether you like Obamacare or not, and you can also see here now a 10 point plus 10 of favorability of the Affordable Care Act, and you can see many states expanded coverage of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, in red states like Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Florida, many of these states with Republican congressmen, and many of these states that went to Trump in 2016. So I am going to predict what would the 2020 election have looked like if they had repealed Obamacare. So we'll start off by filling out these safe states as always. All of these states would have gone safe to the president. Even states that expanded Medicaid, like Louisiana and Alabama and other states like that, these states would have still gone safe, and all of these states, Hawaii, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., Maine's 1st District, and Illinois. That puts the Democrats at 183 safe electoral votes to the Republicans 125. So we'll start off by filling the likely, lean, and tilt states. Nevada, I believe, would have gone lean. I believe that Colorado would have gone likely, and New Mexico would have gone likely. Maybe New Mexico could have even gone safe. As we saw with what I just showed you, the approval ratings, it was a bit underwater here. Not many people approved of it compared to what they do now. But you see, the don't know was a lot higher then. But now, as more people are knowledgeable about it, they can see that 52% of the public supports it and 41% is against it. And you see, the number one thing that they actually didn't like, the individual mandate, is now gone. 63% of people disagreed with it. It is now gone anyway. All of these things are supported by the overwhelming majority of the public, including Republicans. So many of these states would have gone blue by wide margins. I believe even Arizona in the 2020 election, with the trends and everything you would have seen, would have gone Republican. The state of Texas would have gone by a lean margin. I don't think much of a difference would have happened in the state of Texas, as you can see here. There's not as many people signed up to it. The governor, Greg Abbott, didn't expand Medicaid. Nebraska's second would have gone lean. I believe Iowa would have gone tilt, as well as Ohio. Will do them together because they're both similar states. I believe that they would have both gone by tilt margins. You can see that the approval ratings for Donald Trump are very bad in these two states, although they did go to Donald Trump by 10 points. Iowa by 10 points, Ohio by about 9 points. I believe that in this situation, he would have even worse favorability ratings, and with the Obamacare being repealed, many people's healthcare costs would have gone up, could have made the economy tank faster, and for the people who were on Obamacare, they wouldn't have any health insurance at all. And so that would have screwed them over in some of these states. The state of Georgia, I believe, would have gone tilt, as well as the state of North Carolina. These states both would have gone tilt. If you actually look at this map, you can see the state of North Carolina has many Republican districts where over 30,000 people signed up. There's only two Democratic districts here, and they both have a lot of people signed up. But from the state of North Carolina, they expanded Medicaid, and you have many people signed up here. So if you were to take that away, as it said in the article here, the NBC News article, premiums would have gone up by 20%, and 16 million people across the whole country would have gone without coverage. So these states would have gone by tilt margins. North Carolina, you could even argue it would have flipped blue. I believe the state of Florida would have gone tilt blue. As you can see here in this map, you have so many people signed up for it, and the prices did overall go down, and the number of people insured went up, and that is a good thing whether you like it or not. And if you were to just take that away, they would do very poorly, especially Donald Trump with an economy that wouldn't have been as good. The state of Virginia would have gone likely. The establishment would not have liked to have something like that taken away from them, and that would have gone by a likely margin. It's not as much of a swing state anymore anyway. The state of New Hampshire, Maine at large would have gone safe, and Maine second would have gone tilt. The Northeast obviously is a blue area, and I believe that they would have won it in this situation. The Hampshire would have gone likely similar to a margin under Obama. People with a 45% approval rating, they voted for it, and Trump said that he was going to repeal and replace it, but now he's saying that he just wants to let the whole thing implode on itself and then figure out what to do with it. But obviously, we know he's not going to actually do anything to replace it with. He will just repeal it, and then that's that. But if he were to just repeal it, if that vote had passed, Mike Pence had made the deciding vote. If John McCain had voted yes, then you would have seen they would have done very bad in these states. And as we get to these states, you see the Democrats are about to win. They would have won Minnesota likely, Wisconsin likely, Michigan likely. Actually, we'll put Wisconsin lean and Pennsylvania lean. This puts the Democrats up to 319 electoral votes. This is a landslide victory. You could even give them Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa. And the Republicans don't really have much of an opportunity to win here unless they'd be able to win. If they won in Arizona and Florida, that would not even get them over the top. So they have to win another state, maybe Pennsylvania or somewhere. You could even see the Democrats picking up Iowa, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia. That would put them at 374, a whopping 374 margin. The Affordable Care Act was more unpopular under the 2012 election, and one of the reasons Obama could have lost. And it is much more popular than it is now. Now it has good approval ratings, and I believe that it is a good thing that it wasn't completely repealed. Maybe if they had replaced it with something better, sure, or fixed the current system, sure, but to completely repeal it with nothing, they called it the skinny repeal for a reason, would have just been completely disastrous, and in some ways, it kind of saved the Republicans. The Republicans have a good chance at winning the 2020 election now. I think part of that reason is because the Affordable Care Act is still in place, lifting the economy above, and I believe that that is one of the reasons that Trump can actually win. But if the Affordable Care Act had been repealed, I don't think the Republicans would have had much chance at all, and for that reason, the Democrats would end up with 319 electoral votes to the Republicans' 219 electoral votes. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys later.